Hey there, welcome. We are here for session 2 of the Astrology Jetpack. I'm Marina Orms. We're trying a little bit different technology today. I've got doing the video in a way that I can do it from my computer instead of from my phone. So I think this is going to work better. Just so you know, there's always so many tech things behind the scenes that you don't even know goes on. So I'm grateful for my helpers and the tech gods and everything that makes it all work out and grateful when it does work out. And we always have something to learn. So welcome. I see some people are finding me, so that is awesome. That means it's working. And again, just to welcome you, we are here for session 2 of the Astrology Jetpack, 10 planets to accelerate your vision for 2019. And so we are talking about the 10 planets, and that's our topic for today. We're going to be talking about the soul lessons of the astrological signs. Super exciting and insightful information for you to understand that astrological signs are not just a thing that like a box that you get put in, but they're actually revealing a spectrum of possibility. So each sign has lower expressions that we fall into when we're in our default or stress mode, and then it also has higher expressions that we can choose to step into on purpose for each sign. So that's what we're going to be going over today. I think you're going to love it. And we have lots to cover today. And again, it is just the tip of the iceberg, really. Astrology is such an amazing world. There are so many components to it, so many ways that it reveals to you more about who you are, to raise your own self-awareness and empower you to make choices in your life that really help you get the things you want and create and really take control of situations and take control of your responses to those situations in a super healthy way, and not just from a control freak way, but from a way that feels solid and grounded and empowered. So again, today is about the 10 planets and the soul lessons of the astrological signs. On Thursday, we're going to be diving in with a soul-based action plan. So if you haven't yet filled out your What is My Vision exercise, you'll want to make sure to do that before Thursday, because we're going to be taking some information from your exercise and from your own vision, really, for 2019 to know what it is the action plan is supporting. So we want to know what your greatest good is, and then we're going to be putting a plan in place to get you there. And it's all based on your unique makeup. There were a couple of handouts for today. So you'll see the soul lessons of the astrological signs and the 10 planets. And if you got the reminder email, the handouts are in that email, links to download them and open them. And if you haven't signed up yet, that's probably why you didn't get the handout. Or if you're not seeing the handouts, it's probably because you need to sign up. So go to the Get Tickets link on the Astrology Heals Jetpack event page and enter your email there, and you'll get all the handouts. So make sure you get those. And if anyone's having trouble, I'm sure that Katie's here helping us out, so she can help you get what you need. Awesome. And we've got people checking our customer service email info@astrologyheals.com, so they can help you out there too. We want to get you all the resources. Awesome. So we'll get started in just a minute here. I know we're waiting for everybody to find us online, and let me just see if yeah, I see some people are here. Welcome. I'm super excited. Yay. Hi, Dion. Hi, Barb. Hi, April. It's great to see all of you here. I see Donna. Welcome. Awesome. And I am excited that my real book, this is not the proof copy, it's the box of real books came in the mail this morning. I was super excited, and I opened my door to get the box from the mail truck, and my dog ran out, and then I had to chase my dog down the road while I was in my bathrobe. So that was my story of getting my books this morning. But I'm super excited that they're here. And so I know that they're starting to arrive. And if you pre-ordered one, you will be, it should be arriving very soon, if not already. And if you haven't ordered it yet, you still can. And so this soul-based action plan that we're going to be talking about on Thursday is in the book, as well as a couple of chapters that really walk you through how to do that, and walk you through all of this information that we're talking about, and just go in much greater depth with stories and case studies and my life stories, and you're just going to love it. So hooray. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to be looking at our, starting with the soul lessons of the astrological signs. And as I mentioned, every sign has sort of a spectrum of possibilities. And this is one of the things that we have learned from what the new sciences are revealing. So quantum physics, epigenetics, there are some different fields that are emerging in science that I'm not going to go into in depth here, but just so you know, science is really helping us see that as human beings, we have this huge range of possibility. We have we have a spectrum of probabilities and possibilities that we're really choosing from with our consciousness or our unconscious. So if we're not choosing consciously, our unconscious is choosing for us. And that's why consciousness and self-awareness, choosing on purpose, self-love, all of these things are so, so important, because we really do have a choice, and we really are casting our vote for what we want to see happen, and how we want things to evolve, and how we want to learn and grow and discover what we're capable of. So that's what each of the astrological signs has to offer us. And so I'm sure everybody knows their sun sign. And even if you only know your sun sign, you can look up your sun sign on this handout. I don't think there's a way for me to share my screen, but if you can open your handout on your own screen, or later, print it out, whatever you need to do, you're going to see that for each of the astrological signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, etc., there is a box on the left that says lower possibilities, and a box on the right that says higher possibilities. And so all of us, you know, if this is your sun sign, find the one for your sun sign. So my sun sign is Capricorn. I just had my birthday last week. And if I look at the lower possibilities, what I'm going to see for my sign is the things that I might tend to default or fall into, or find myself repeating old patterns in areas that, these are the areas that I would fall into when I'm under stress, when I'm not choosing consciously, when I'm allowing my unconscious to choose for me, when I'm in fear or survival mode. These are the things that I'm going to go to more quickly. For Capricorn, it's something more like the need to be in control. As long as I'm in control, I feel safe. And so what's possible for me then is those higher possibilities, is to remember that Capricorn is also inviting me to expand into these more positive qualities that I can embrace and embody by choosing consciously. So when I'm aware of my own patterns, when I'm choosing to love myself, when I'm recognizing whether or not I know what I'm capable of, at least I'm recognizing that I would like to do better. And so I'm giving myself that affirmation that I can take responsibility for my own experience and the outcomes that I am living. And this is what's possible for me. So the higher possibilities are for Capricorn are being grounded, being dependable, having my own inner authority, able to create a plan and build strong foundations, making structures and having integrity, making a lasting difference and leaving a legacy. So that's just one example. Of course, we have each of the signs. And unfortunately, I don't have time to read all of them today, and I'm not sure that would be the best use of your time anyway, because you wouldn't be able to remember all of it. So the best way for you to use this is to use that handout, check the sign for yourself, for your family members, for your friends, and just see, look, and notice how you can see where the tendencies are to go into old patterns or unhealthy patterns, and what the possibilities are when you're doing the things that you know how to do to support yourself to step into those higher possibilities. And that is precisely what we're going to be doing starting on Thursday with the soul-based action plan, is helping you step into those higher possibilities on purpose more often, really taking advantage of the higher qualities that you have available to you in terms of how you're wired. So that's the tip of the iceberg. And where we're going to go next is, so we talked about your sun sign and finding the lower possibilities and the higher possibilities. And that's true. And even if you just stop there, this is true. So even if that's all you want to know is, for my sign, what's the spectrum of possibilities? What is my evolutionary path? What is my path of learning of what's possible for me when I do my own healing work and support myself to learn and grow? However, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the 10 planets. And so in astrology, the sun is actually considered a planet. The sun and moon are both considered planets, because when you think about our ancestors, back before there was electricity, they were just looking at the sky, and it was just these glowing bodies that had personalities in the sky, and they considered the planets to be gods. But anyway, the planets were these shining bodies in the sky, and so they didn't distinguish between the sun and the moon in terms of categorizing them as planets. So in astrology, we have 10 planets, and the sun is just one of them. So your sun sign is the one you know about usually from the childhood. And then the other, so you have 9 more signs in addition to your sun sign. And all 10 of these planets are part of your chart. They're part of you. They're part of how you're made up. And so this helps us to understand why sometimes when we hear, we say, oh, I'm an Aries, but I don't really resonate with those qualities, or that just doesn't sound like me. The things you read in the newspaper don't make sense. The horoscope doesn't line up. Well, in part, there's many factors, but in part that can be because you have other signs that might be balancing out that one sign that is the one our culture sort of generally recognizes. So these 10 planets, looking at the second handout now, each of these 10 planets is a part of yourself. And unfortunately, I can't tell you right now. It's too much detail for me to look up for every single person and tell you what sign each of your planets is in. But there's 2 things I want to tell you. One is that if you really are interested in learning where all of 10 of your planets are, and you haven't had an astrology reading before or have access to this information, you may want to contact us and order a natal report. And it's $27. We just offer that as a service so you can get the information and know what each of these is for you. And specifically, when you order it from Astrology Heals, we tell you about the higher and lower possibilities. We tell you about what your soul is learning through each of the planets and each as a part of yourself. So I do recommend that. It's not something we make money on. It's really just a service that we provide so that you can have that information on about yourself and sort of a quickie interpretation of your own chart. Of course, you can get many more details if you talk to an actual astrologer. Okay, so that was the first thing. The second thing is, if you don't want to spend money, I'm happy to, I'm offering this free training series here, and that we are going to be talking next week about a specific part of your chart that is not your sun sign, and you will have a chance. This is called the lunar nodes, and you will have a chance to learn what yours are. So stay tuned for that, and you are going to get some custom information. So you just have that to look forward to. But what I want to do today is show you how each of these planets is a different part of yourself, just to open your eyes to the possibilities and to see really what kind of information your chart provides for you. Again, much more than just your sun sign. So even just to begin with, you have a sun and a moon. So you have a moon sign. And your moon sign, your moon in your chart, both by sign and house and how it's related to the other planets, reveals how you care for yourself and others. The moon is about caring and nurturing. And so you have the sun and the moon that represent, the sun is self-expression, just like the sun in the solar system. The sun is how you shine. It's visible, it's bright, it's your self-expression, it's your ego, it's how the world sees you. The moon is internal. It is, it's your feelings, it's your heart, it's the things that you can't necessarily put into words. It's the part of you that people get to know when they get to know you a little better, and you trust them and you open up a little more. And so you have a sun and a moon, they're these, they're called the luminaries, and they kind of balance each other out, so you have the outward self-expression and the internal experience. And when you think about it, really, from our perspective here on Earth, when we look out into the sky, the sun and the moon are pretty much equal in size. And so even though, in recent centuries, we've been aware that the planets actually orbit around the sun, and the sun is far more vast and has that kind of importance. What our ancestors knew was that from our perspective, how we see things, the moon and the sun are equal. And so our feelings and our needs and how we take care of ourselves is equal in importance to our self-expression and how the world sees us and how we shine and what we project on a more visible public level. So that's the sun and the moon. And then you have all these other planets. So you have Mercury, Venus, and Mars, which form the core of your personality. So you've got Mercury, which is your mind, how you think, how you solve problems, how you communicate. It's kind of the everyday mental function and basic information processing. So your Mercury, and the sign that your Mercury is in, shows how you do that and shows what you're learning in that area of life, in the area of life that has to do with your mind and communication. Venus is about beauty and aesthetic and what we value and how we relate to others and the world around us. So what we find beautiful and valuable, what we need to feel beautiful, the role and the importance of beauty in our lives. That's a Venus function. So what sign your Venus is in will tell you what you're learning in that area of life. And of the three, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, the core of the personality, Mars is action. It's how we move forth. It's how we assert ourselves. It's where we need to find courage. And the sign that Mars is in will show you how you're going to be most effective at getting what you want. So you're going to see in the area of action and courage and assertiveness, what are my soul lessons, by finding your Mars sign and looking up that sign in the soul lessons chart. So I'm just going to check, is this making sense to people? I'm going to see if anybody's got any questions about what I'm talking about. I'll take questions at the end too. So go ahead and just jot them down if you have them, and we'll come back to them. So that gets us through Mars. And I just want to point out, we talked about the sun and moving from the lower vibration to the higher vibration. I think I call it lower possibilities here in the soul lessons chart. So lower possibilities and higher possibilities for your sun, lower possibilities and higher possibilities for your moon. Remember, your moon is your feelings, your needs. So where you might have a tendency to take care of yourself in unhealthy ways would be on the lower possibilities for your moon sign. So again, you need to know what your moon sign is, and then whatever sign your moon is in, you're going to look that up on this soul lessons chart, and you're going to see, for my moon, for the way that I care for myself, here are the lower possibilities and here are the higher possibilities. The higher possibilities represent what it might look like if you really step into a healthy moon, a healthy way to care for yourself, and what that looks and feels like for you. Okay. So after Mars, we start getting into the bigger planets, the farther out planets. We call them the outer planets. Jupiter it's a gas giant, and it happens to be about expansion. So Jupiter is about expansion, beliefs, and optimism. It's where we place our faith and trust, what we believe in, and how we go beyond boundaries. So it represents things like travel and exploration. So in that area of life, knowing your Jupiter sign is going to tell you what your lessons are in the area of beliefs and optimism, and how you're learning to trust and learning to expand and embrace abundance. So whatever your Jupiter sign is, the higher vibration of that sign is going to give you clues as to what is going to help you experience abundance, the ways that you're learning that function in life. And then Saturn is Jupiter's expansion, and Saturn is contraction. So Saturn is the function in our lives that has to do with our human limitations. And it's not the fun one. Saturn is the one that we're like, oh, do I really have to do that? It feels limiting. It feels hard. It feels challenging. But Saturn brings us the lessons in life that help us develop a healthy self-confidence, a healthy self-esteem. When you think about some of your best teachers from school, it's the ones who pushed you, who said, I believe in you, you're better than that, you're capable of more, and made you go do it again. And then you really like just what you got from that, especially if those teachers were loving, right? It's the ones who really cared. And that is the function that Saturn represents in our lives. It's like that loving, caring teacher who's going to push you. That they're not going to be satisfied with you kind of slacking. And so they're going to push you into the challenges that help you discover what you're capable of. So that's the Saturn function in life. And the lower vibration and the higher vibration for Saturn is going to show you how you are learning that, and what's going to be the best way for you to learn those lessons and to embrace those lessons with awareness and in a healthy way. And then we get into what we call the trans-Saturnians. These were planets that were not known about until the 1700s, at least. And so the first one is Uranus. And Uranus has to do with individuality, rebellion, revolution, how you need to be true to yourself. And ultimately, it deals with change. It deals with breaking outside the box, being true to yourself so that you can innovate, so you can have new ideas, bring in your outside the box thinking to offer new perspectives and things to try and ways of inventing new paths. So wherever your Uranus is going, whatever sign it's in, is going to show what that particular path of learning your own lessons looks like for you. And what it is, how you're learning that lesson of being yourself, being an individual, being true to yourself, being quirky, being weird, whatever it is, that's going to help you actually offer new ideas that can contribute to new solutions to old problems. And then your Neptune is spirituality and transcendence. So that is where you are experiencing yourself as part of a bigger picture. And so that could be through religion, it could be through nature, it could be through meditation. It's whatever brings you that feeling of connection to something that is bigger than you and that supports you in expanding your heart, being a better person, enjoying life. And so Neptune lessons have to do with really finding healthy ways to do that. Neptune is also the planet of addiction. So because we're craving that connection, we're craving to belong to something bigger. And so Neptune sign is about the way that you are learning how to embody and embrace your own spiritual needs in a healthy way. So you don't have to turn to losing yourself in substances, for example, or codependent relationships, or there's different ways that can show up. So it's discovering your own spirituality and how you do that. Pluto is the planet of truth and transformation. It is, in the traditional 10 planets, it is the outer planet of our solar system and our astrology charts. It's the deepest place within ourselves that has to do with empowerment, our passion, our truth, our need to speak the truth, and how we are learning to move from victimhood to empowerment. So that's whatever sign Pluto is in is how you are doing that. And so the higher possibilities for Pluto are really what's possible for you when you are kind of working through the transformation processes in your life that help you heal old areas of victimization, old stories of disempowerment, and step into your own true power. So, awesome. I know this is a lot to absorb, and I really appreciate your listening. I know that it's just so powerful to know that you have these parts of your chart. And I'm sure that some of you will want to know what they are, what the signs are for you. And so again, ordering your natal report from astrologyheals.com is a great way to do that. It's not the only way, but I really recommend it because we have the soul lessons built in for you. So on the natal report, it will tell you what sign each of your planets is in, and then what the soul lessons are in that area of life for you and what that looks like for you. And you end up with a beautiful, I don't know how many pages it is. It's like 16 or 17 pages just about you and your soul's lessons. Beautiful. So again, next time we're going to be talking about the soul-based action plan. I'm going to be looking here in a minute for questions. So if you have any questions about what we covered today, go ahead and post those in the comments, and I'll be checking in a minute just after I cover a couple of things here. So Thursday is the soul-based action plan part 1, and then next week we have 3 more sessions to look forward to. So nothing this Saturday. So this week we meet Tuesday and Thursday, And then next week we'll meet Tuesday and Thursday again, and then we'll have our wrap-up call on Saturday the 19th. That is aligning ourselves with the Leo lunar eclipse, which is on the 20th. So we're taking advantage of the energy of the Capricorn new moon and solar eclipse to launch this and just ride this wave of support that the universe provides us to step into this empowerment and information. So Thursday is Soul-Based Action Plan Part 1, and then next week on Tuesday we'll be doing Soul-Based Action Plan Part 2. So you're going to be learning about how to work with moon cycles to support your vision, to align with your vision and bring it into being. What is your highest good and most important to you is we're going to have an action plan for you to use throughout the year to support that and bring it into being. And then on Thursday next week, I forget what date that is, but after the Soul-Based Action Plan, we're going to be talking about the lunar nodes. And as I mentioned, it's a really exciting part of your chart that you will get to know what sign yours are in because it's easy to look up on a chart. And we will be talking about what that means and how it helps you to clear and heal old karmic patterns that come even from before this life. We might say it comes from past lives or from generational things that are needing to be healed within you, the stories from your ancestors, the realities that you have as unconscious wiring inside of you that can be healed and shifted to help you step into your own highest potential. Okay. I'm looking here at the comments and to see if you have any questions. So go ahead and post your questions. Any comments you have? Okay. Super. Okay, yeah, full training schedule is on the event page. Don't forget to sign up at the Get Tickets link and make sure you're getting the handouts and the reminders. Send your friends there if you like what you're seeing here. The more the merrier. So I would love to meet your friends and help them see what we're doing here as well. Spread the word. I'm excited. Lonnie says, this might be a stupid question. Have you mentioned how to get the personal chart? Yeah, I think I have, but yes, astrologyheals.com. I maybe didn't spell it out. And at astrologyheals.com, there are some options that you can choose in the upper right, and one of them is products. And under products, there's natal reports, and that's the best way to do that. I think there's also an option if you scroll down on the page, like the home page, astrologyheals.com. There's a little thing there about natal reports that you can click on as well. So it's the Astrology Heals natal report that tells you what sign each of your 10 planets is in, and what the soul lessons are for you in each area. And even if, again, if you don't have to purchase that, I just wanted you to be aware that you have 10 signs and you have 10 planets. And when the time is right for you, you will check it out and learn more. But, just to start with your sun sign and then there's just so much more that you can add as you start to learn about this. For me, it was like I would ask one question about astrology and it would just lead me to more and more and more and more questions. And my mind was so curious. And there's just so much here to learn, and it goes hand in hand. I mean, the reason it's so interesting is because it really goes hand in hand with your own self-awareness. And when you're wanting to be more effective and heal yourself and have a happier, more joyful, more purposeful and meaningful life, the more self-awareness you have, the more understanding of how you're wired and why you are the way you are and why things happen in your life the way they do. Why is that? Why does it happen that way for you? Your astrology chart shows you why. And it shows you why from a bigger picture. Like, this is what your soul is learning. This is why it has to be this way. This is what you can do about it. Those are the kinds of things that your chart has to offer. And that's why I'm so excited about it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for ordering and reading my new book. And I'll see you on the Thursday event. We'll be talking about the soul-based action plan. So be sure to do your What is My Vision exercise and post and share in our Facebook event page. Let us know how it's going for you. All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.